This Sun-Gazette video coverage is proudly sponsored by Woodlands Bank.
The Williamsport Crosscutters are back at home, and this time back with a winning streak. And with the potential first half crown to be captured, Williamsport looking to maybe find themselves at the top of the standings by the end of the midweek. Hello everyone, I'm Nicolas Severini with the Williamsport Sun-Gazette. This is the Crosscutter Catch-Up. Coming into the 6-game home stretch, the Cutters were riding a 3-game losing streak and were in the middle of the pack in the draft league. Taking on the Trenton Thunder last weekend in a 3-game set, though, they quickly got back to winning ways, sweeping the Thunder and finding themselves in the top half of the draft league standings once again, with potentially more room to move up. Let's talk about what happened last weekend to start. Taking on the Trenton Thunder, the Cutters would open up the series in monstrous fashion, defeating Trenton by a score of 14-2. It was the most runs that Williamsport had scored in a game this season. Of course, it was their largest win of the season. Of the 9 players in the starting lineup to bat, 7 recorded a hit, and all 9 not only reached base, but managed to score as well. It was a real all-around team effort and a win to remember for Billtown. It would come in much closer fashion, though, the day after, in a grueling Saturday slate that might not have even started, some would thought, because of the rain. Williamsport would find themselves 5 runs down at the halfway point in the game, but would come back to win in big fashion, 6-5, the final score in that one. It was their largest comeback of the season, and it came, of course, in consistent fashion. That's something that has started to befit this Cutters team. Consistent hitting. They scored 2 runs in the 5th, 2 runs in the 6th, and 2 runs in the 7th for that 6-5 win. Amon Dewberry would have the biggest hit, a triple, a 2-run triple, that gave the Cutters a lead that they would never relinquish. In the Sunday series finale, the Cutters were looking for their second sweep of the season against Trenton, and they would get just that in a 5-3 decision against the Thunder. Armani Newton was the hero in that one. A go-ahead triple in the 7th inning that made it 4-3. Boston Smith would tack on a garnish and at-bat later to give us that final score of 5-3. That series against the Thunder was highlighted by consistent hitting and excellent pitching in the bullpen, with Trenton only scoring 1 run in the latter half of those last 2 games. And of course, Williamsport riding back-to-back comeback wins to take them now to 2nd in the draft league. Good time to transition and talk about the standings. West Virginia still in first, but just a half game back are the hometown Cutters with a 6-3 overall record. All 3 of their losses this season against the West Virginia Black Bears, who are half a game above them. And now we talk about what's going on this week. Another 3-game series for the Cutters at home, and they are taking on the Frederick Keys, who find themselves last in the draft league with a 3-8 record. It's not the best time of the season for Frederick, it has to be said. 4 straight losses in a row for the Keys riding into Williamsport. They're also last in the draft league in run differential, but that doesn't tell the full story with this Frederick team. 3 of their losses, as mentioned, have been by 3 runs or less. And of their 8 losses this season, 2 of them have been by just 1 run, and a 3rd loss coming in the draft league's sudden death format. So this is a Frederick team that may be better than their record shows, and it's a good time to transition and talk about our players to watch for this series. Williamsport, a lot of the highlights have been at the plate, and that has stayed put. Matthew Gravlin, a catcher, designated hitter type, versatile role for the Cutters. He is 3rd in the draft league currently in OPS with a 1.198. 3rd, as mentioned, in the draft league, and is coming off of his last 3 games in which he only went 3 for 10, but also got 4 walks. He is someone that has been getting on base consistently. Speaking of consistency, Logan Johnstone is another player to watch, a center fielder for this Williamsport team. He's sporting a .406 batting average. That's 5th in the draft league. Also 5th in the draft league in RBI with 7. Frederick, however, do have some talent on this roster, as every team does. Lance Triple will be the big player to watch at the plate for the Keys. The catcher is 5th in OPS in the draft league, a 1.098, and also is sporting a .533 on-base percentage. He's been getting it done consistently. Also, we have to highlight one pitcher for this series. Keep an eye out for Matthew Becker, Thursday starter for Frederick. A starting pitcher who has a 3.86 ERA, that's best on the Keys. He is, as mentioned, the Thursday starter, and he is known for getting strikeouts. 7 innings pitched across 2 outings, 12 Ks compared to just 5 walks. Should be a very interesting 3-game slate. If it is a 3-game slate, the clouds might say otherwise, but hopefully we'll get some baseball this week, and if so, it might be a fascinating one between Williamsport and Frederick. For the Williamsport Sun-Gazette, I'm Nicolas Severini. This has been the Crosscutter Catch-Up.